Welcome back. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. I'm your friend Vernon Derby. Yes, this is a People's Program, the People's University. Coming up right now is Traveling the World. And this time we have a very beautiful, no, but not about facial beautiful, that too, but a beautiful personality. I will tell you why I know that. Talented lady. Let me tell you, you ought to see her cheekbones. Oh, lovely, and a very bright lady. But then she's connected to her family, and when you look at her, you see the whole family. It's just amazing. I see done it. I see her auntie, I see daddy, I see everybody. Safia Cooper, how you do?
I'm great, Vernon. Thank you for having me this morning.
It's great to have you. Can you imagine, we know your whole generation?
Clearly.
Yes. Safia Cooper. Kingsley, good morning.
Yes, he's up, I'm sure.
I hope he's listening.
He should be listening too.
He better do. You're the co-managing director of Pulse Investment Limited.
Yes, I am.
Don't want to go back to when you're a little baby, although you're still looking like a little baby.
Thank God. Good genes.
Oh, I can see. There's a little gray here, but that doesn't say anything at all.
Man.
Look like style, if you ask me.
There you go.
Where you born? Under the clock too?
Yes, under the clock for sure.
No.
Right here in Kingston.
I look in country friends, you know.
Boy, hush. I can't help you. Right under the clock, September 20. I'm actually a Virgo. My birthday is coming up in September.
I have to make sure I make a note of that. September 20, right?
I'm still trying to celebrate, even though we're in these COVID times. But, you know, such is life.
School, where went in terms of school?
The Great Holy Childhood High School. You know, believe it or not.
The Holy Childhood.
Certainly. I mean, I spent fabulous years there. Under the guidance of Sister Stephanie, you know, who has passed now, but, you know, amazing.
Sometimes I wonder, which is more popular, Sister Stephanie or the school? I'm not too sure.
Sister Stephanie was the school. She embodied the spirit of this. I mean, she knew every single student by their name. And my 7 years there, amazing with her. Amazing. Really, she really did have a stamp on us, and we had to live the values, you know, live.
So you're lucky to get a little bit of those persons or principals who were leaders, that are just academically qualified. They were leaders.
They were when the parents came to the school.
Yes.
They could tell. She could tell exactly what's happening with Safia. You know how she did in school, her performance.
That is frightening.
Let me tell you, it is or was rather, but that was just how it was then. You know, so I was at Holy Childhood.
So after Holy Childhood.
After HCHS, I went to UA, and at UA, I did international.
Follow everybody footstepping.
Yeah, you know, UA is a natural. You know, the next move. I did international relations there and a minor in political science. Now, back then, I said to myself, I want to be a part of the UN. You know, that's why I did it. And I really did like IR.
Yes.
Strangely, I mean, it was a night and day turn now when I did nothing related to my degree in my career or in my adult life. You know, and from UWI, I went to Nova and I did my master's there. So, you know, again, that's kind of when I definitely got into more of the business and marketing aspects of my career. So, and then I went into Red Stripe right after UWI.
Oh, yeah, to Red Stripe.
Yes, I was there for 11 years actually.
Red Stripe. Listen, life is just for living.
Well, there you go, the original.
And so, by the way, where did that take you in terms of, you must have been all over?
Let me tell you, Red Stripe University. Like, I have to call it that. It was a university and it taught me quite a lot about marketing. I actually learned everything I know
about marketing
there on the job at Red Stripe. And a part of my time there at the Red Stripe company, Diageo, you know, parent company, I worked for about 6 months in Brazil, Sao Paulo. So, you know, it was a total change though, because I'm here in Jamaica, English is our first language, and I'm dropped right into a country where Portuguese...
You mean English is our second language?
Well, for true.
I'm sure if Auntie's listening,
I know where you're going with that.
I was coming with that one.
I know where you're going with that one. I know exactly where you're going with that one.
You hear what your niece said?
Auntie Caroline, forgive me.
Please give her a spanking when you see her.
No, man. She know what I mean, though. But,
Yes.
you know, I'm there. I've been, you know, I grew up grandma, everybody around me, very sheltered, and then boom, I'm lifted from Jamaica into Brazil. Millions of people right into Sao Paulo working for Diageo as a brand manager for Johnny Walker. No, the language barrier for sure was the hardest thing to deal with. But I loved the food, the people. They were very warm, and although very fast paced, much more aggressive, I think, than Jamaica. I did enjoy my time there, just being a part of that environment and seeing a wider world. Because you're here in Jamaica, 3 million people, but now you're in one particular state which has hundreds of millions of people. So it's a whole different type of experience for you as a young female being uprooted from your, where you're born and grow into this fast-paced life. But it was a good stint. And again, I learned a lot, being around the people and the culture in Brazil.
And tell me a bit about Brazil, because I guess it's made up of quite a, different
yes, you'd say
ethnic makeup of that side.
Right,
you have
exactly. Let me give you an example. For part of the my stint there, because Carnival is a massive part of their culture. I left Sao Paulo and I flew to Bahia. Now, Bahia is the young upcoming carnival where people across the world...
Bahia is like a province or a state.
Exactly.
Yes.
So my best friend flew in from Jamaica and we said, we're doing carnival in Bahia. Listen to me. We jumped in a band that I can say the band, just that one band in the entire carnival was about 2 million people.
Hold on.
Imagine that.
You sure the math is okay?
Listen to me, man.
2 million. But listeners, guess what? That place have over 200, I must say 11 million persons to our little 3.
There you go. So imagine we have a carnival band, which is a couple, like 1,000 mash people jumping on a Sunday, for Carnival Sunday. Imagine one band being about 2 million people. I mean, we had bodyguards with us, and because, they knew we were not from Brazil. And when they discovered the Jamaican connection, listen to me, man, they got even crazier. But I can tell you it was an experience that I'll never forget. And Jamaica is everywhere. Reggae music is every single part of the world. I can attest to this.
But listen, sometimes are we a third world country or first world country?
No. We beat them all. Jamaica.
But I hear in Brazil they have a place there where there are persons there who speak a language which is similar to a patois and into reggae.
I wouldn't put it past them, because whilst I was there, because it was a couple of days and nights of carnival, right? It's non-stop. I'm there and people are saying, reggae, Jamaica, Safia, come listen. And I'm like, what's going on? And when I looked in the massive parade, there was a red, green and gold band representing Jamaica and reggae music. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Black Uhuru. That could have been there. It was a legendary moment. I mean, it was ridiculous because I'm like, what are the odds? I'm from Jamaica, I'm in Bahia, so in Brazil, and boom, there's this massive reggae section in the carnival going on. I tell you, Jamaica is everywhere in the world.
It is just amazing.
Yes, for sure.
Arctic Circle everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Now, how you found the people in Brazil in terms of culture when you compare them to, say, Jamaica?
The people are warm.
Yes.
And, I must say, though, that they have very strong personalities. So driving in Brazil was a whole nother thing because, our taxis on the road are one specific kind of experience, right? But I can tell you, driving on the road in Brazil, it's 24/7, fast paced. I mean, I think being a Jamaican, you can drive there. The average person can't drive in Brazil.
I love that one.
Being a Jamaican, I could drive there.
I understand that the crime rate is also very high there.
Yes, it is. So we were always very well protected. For example, the car that I drove had bulletproof glass.
Oh.
It was that serious. So, definitely they have their challenges as it relates to that. But outside, I didn't feel unsafe. They're very much so sports and football enthusiasts.
Oh, quite. So
I had an experience where I was driving past a stadium where a match was like a local match though, nothing international. And let me tell you, man, the people were over the top, passionate and into the thing and driving and getting excited and all that. So, you know, but I would say people are warm, the food is amazing, the culture is rich. You won't feel unsafe. You'll feel, though, that you'll need to be smart, as you should be, in moving around. So that's kind of how I would say. But I did enjoy my stint there, for sure.
Well, gonna go for the break, and I'm gonna tell Safia. I'm surprised how she didn't go into acting. I'm sure she has acting skills because I know she have done pretty well in the movies. I wonder. I'm sure somebody else has said that to you already.
You're really making me feel good this morning.
No, I'm sure. Anybody said that to you before?
They say I'm pretty animated. Yes.
Yes, you do very well in acting. Well, you know, they say, no, Daddy, gonna turn into business woman.
For sure.
All right, gonna go for that. It's obvious that you love it, right?
I do.
Exactly. All right, let's go for the break. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. It's traveling the world. I'm your friend, Vernon Derby, and my very special guest, oh yes, you love her, Safia Cooper, co-managing director of Pulse Investment Limited. Soon come back. Don't move. Welcome back. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. Your friend Vernon Derby is here with a very special guest, a very special lady, a very talented personality with love in her heart. And, you know, I guess it's the family she comes from, and it just comes from her. You feel it. Yes, it's Safia Cooper. Now, Brazil is made up of blacks, and I hear the term mulatto because when I was younger, there's that thing about this mulatto thing. Yes. I don't know why.
No, I know. I totally get what you mean.
Yes.
But it's definitely a wide cross-section of ethnicities. I mean, some persons look a little Caucasian, some look Chinese because, you know, they're one of the largest consumers of sushi in the world.
Oh, yeah.
They do a lot of that there. Black people, of course, are there. So it's really almost like a melting pot of different types of people.
You know, what I don't understand, and you're in business and your company has reached out internationally, but Mark, the type of product you're into is different from other types of products. But here's a country with over 211 million persons. I've always wondered what we need to do to sort of reach out to that market. You know, it's massive.
But can I tell you something, though, that with our Pulse product, we're pretty diverse. We've always been a very diverse company. And through our partnership and, you know, involvement with the Peter Tosh movement and the Peter Tosh Museum,
yes,
we actually got into...
Still have that guitar?
Exactly.
Still have, really?
We still have the guitar. The museum is at Pulse now.
Okay.
The Tosh Museum is at Pulse at Trafalgar Road. So we actually worked with some partners in Brazil where they brought the Jamaica exhibition, which was in Paris before, to Sao Paulo. So there is always a continuous exchange of our product, whether it be the fashion product, the cultural product, the entertainment product, across borders. And that actually happened in Brazil in 2018. So, you know, it is possible. It requires the right support, the right resources, of course, and the right linkages. But that is possible, taking our product, whatever it is, entertainment, fashion, business, commerce, into other borders, across other borders, into other opportunities and other spaces.
Well, probably part of the challenge, though, is getting to Brazil. You have to go through what? North America, or go through it, Panama?
Well, the route that I took, which was the most efficient, I went into Florida, and from there I flew directly into Sao Paulo. Now, it's at least 13 hours.
Wow.
13 more, you know. And the delay time,
so
the
a whole
wait
day
time.
of traveling?
No, man, you'd forget the
day.
Day and more. So you're jet lagged when you get there. But that wasn't my longest travel experience.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been at that time. But when I did do my trip, Dubai, Tanzania, that's over 21 hours of travel. No, I couldn't imagine doing it. But the motivation behind the trip was so important to me.
I saw like going to Australia. Oh, that...
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
sleep, you wake, you sleep,
you
you
wake.
wake up. Oh, yes.
You have to have a connection to where you're going and why you want to go. Because I lost my mom in 2018 suddenly.
Oh, yes, yes.
And-
so sad to hear that.
Thank you. And she always wanted to go to Africa. So my aunt and myself said, you know what? It's time. You know, we laid her to rest and we, you know, had our little time together. And we said, it's time to go to Africa. And so we went to Tanzania. So we got up one day. I mean, it was a very far-reaching thought
Right.
to think, Jamaica, Dubai, Tanzania, all right, 21 hours, let's do this. My aunt Betty, she actually heads the consulate.
You're people from Brazil, though. You don't need a visa to go to Brazil.
You actually do.
You don't need a visa.
You do. You need a visa.
Oh, so you need a visa to go to America, or probably in transit. Well, in transit
You have
visa.
to have a, right, exactly.
Then from there too.
You have to have the visa into Brazil, which is it's mandatory.
Back to Tanzania.
So back to Tanzania now. So we said let's do this. My aunt there, she heads the consulate for Jamaica, and said, guys, come, you're welcome anytime. So I began my journey again through Florida, and I went into Dubai. That was about 15 or 16 hours alone. When I got into the Dubai International Airport, I was like, this is different. Uber modern, sleek, clean, crisp. I mean, I know that they're technologically savvy,
Right.
and everything that they do is around a modern edge, and they're ahead of everything, essentially. But what also struck me was that I felt different as a woman, because when I looked in the customs and immigration hall, I saw only men. So again, that
what,
was like,
women don't work or what?
no, I just don't recall seeing any women there in the airport until I got to say, you know, to get into my hotel and other services. But
It's a Muslim country?
it is.
Oh, I see.
So you
I
see the whole connection
yes,
there.
Yes.
So, you know, that struck me, but I didn't feel uncomfortable in the space. But again, I know, not being from there, they would understand that I don't understand the limitations that women have in that country.
And sometimes you have to, because when you go to Rome, you do as the Romans
That's the
do.
thing now, but thank God, you know, I'm covered. I was properly dressed,
Yes.
you know, and, you know, whoever I interfaced with, they were very helpful. I spent a night in Dubai and I saw the city at night.
Tell me about it, because I get the impression that artists just oozing out of everywhere in that country. Tell me about, I hear about this Dubai. I've always wanted to go to
Let me
Dubai.
tell you, man, it's breathtaking because of
Yes.
how they've presented what they symbolize and what they're about. So, you know, I did a city tour at night via bus, and everything is massive, everything is full of lights, everything is so well designed, uber modern. I mean, it will take your breath away just by the fact that you feel so like you'd have never imagined seeing this in front of your eyes.
I hear of some massive buildings.
Massive buildings. We saw the Burj Khalifa. I mean,
That's the tallest building.
the
I think.
tallest building.
Yes.
Listen to me, man. I was like, oh my God, this is extreme. Extreme. You know, we also saw the Dubai Mall. Every single brand is in that mall. Massive mall as well. We went down to Jeremiah Beach. You know, where again, it's just how they've brought everything together. Although man-made to a large extent,
Right.
it seems natural, if you get what I'm saying.
You know, where countries like Dubai, they have oil, right? Singapore, they don't have oil as such. But when you think of these countries and see what they have achieved, and they've had some horrible past, some of them. I look at Jamaica. Do you say to yourself, what is holding us back in terms of the technology, in terms of being modern, in terms... Mark, there are some aspects of the country's life. For example, like, I respect their religion, but women are not treated equally, so I wouldn't want to swap that at all.
No, I would never give that up because,
Yes.
you know, I tell you, in Jamaica, we take these things for granted,
Right.
where as a woman, you can do well, you can hold powerful positions.
By the way, women can drive a car in Dubai?
But, you know, I'm not even so sure about that.
Because some of these countries, a women can't drive.
Exactly. I would never trade that bit of it.
Yes.
We are too much of an empowered people here, especially our women. And women are doing extremely well. You know, it would be a very hard...
I'm going to make trouble, you know. We are empowered and women are, but I ask myself sometimes, do they use that power wisely?
That's a whole different conversation for sure. that's a whole different conversation.
Yes.
But I think it starts within, and a lot of us don't believe that we have the freedom to be who we want to be, and we don't have to be what the image portrays or what you see in a magazine or what you see on social media. You can be yourself in your own skin and be as powerful, because it really starts from internally. And my mother always said to me, Safia, education is the key. And that for me, I think, stuck with me through my entire life. And that alone empowers me to do what I do and be who I am. So, that I think is critical. And I would never swap that for a life, for say, in Dubai. But I would enjoy the touristic attractions, of course. But guess what? The heat. I didn't tell you about the heat. It was over 100 degrees when I got there.
So hold on. So your blood never boil up?
Listen to me, man. You think outside hot now? We have a little breeze outside.
Yes.
There, still humid, hot like fire. And that was not the hottest that country can get to. It was extreme. So that for me would have been also an issue. I really...
Let me ask you, because I've always wondered about it. You go to, for example, Arizona in the United States. And you say, suppose you're driving and the car is broken down. You can't come out of the car. And you can't stay in there either, because you'll be a nice baked bit
potato.
of thing.
Yeah.
Right. But in a country like that, how do you function moving
Air
about?
conditioning.
Suppose that fails. And not near to anywhere.
I tell you, you'd be like a popsicle melting.
Wow.
It was really, 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 really hot. Really
I was
hot.
paranoid when I went to Phoenix there, and I said I didn't want to go anywhere at all, because I said, suppose I go there, the car break down. You see, I like how me went already.
Lobster. It'd be
I look like a
lobster. Exactly.
Yes.
But I mean, the sights, the city, beautiful, amazing. I mean, a lot of respect for what they have done with the space. And
It's
just
well
the
laid out,
technology.
right?
Well, let me tell you, the roadways well laid out. Wasn't there for long, it was only at night. So I actually
Didn't get right.
didn't sleep, because I was literally in Dubai, hotel, city tour, like a 2 hours probably the most. Up again to catch my flight
So
to Dar.
to get to Dubai, you go through where now? Because you could go through London, you could go through New York,
Right, but I did the Florida route again.
the Florida route.
Yeah.
So you did a US visa.
And
What about Dubai? You need a...
you need an in-transit visa. Some of the airlines will provide that for you. The one that I took, Emirates, did that. And then,
they have a lovely outfit here for the flight attendants.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm sure you have ladies working on Emirates.
Certainly. Certainly they're
Yes.
working on Emirates. So they took care of my visa, and then I was good. However, though,
So Dubai, you need a visa too. What about Tanzania?
Tanzania, as a Jamaican, you do not need a visa.
What a thing. It'd be hard if you need a visa to go to the motherland.
Listen to me, the motherland is ready and waiting for us. Ready and waiting for us. And there's no
How did
visa.
you feel? You're from Africa, and of course, your whole family.
Listen to me, man.
I don't know your mother's side, but I know they're into Africa.
Definitely.
Caroline Cooper,
They're
Donald Cooper, Kingsley Cooper. Yes, listeners, Kingsley's her daddy. All right.
Yeah, no, both sides of the family, they really are Afrocentric.
Yes,
As I said before, my mom, one of her biggest dreams was to go to Africa. So for me, it was realizing that dream
Yes.
for her, with my aunt, who is like my
What
second
is her name,
mom,
your mother?
Marcia Reed.
Okay, very
Right.
Marcia Reed, I love that.
Yeah, she was a teacher for over 20 years, giving
Okay.
back to inner city schools. So, I have that background on both sides where, education
Yes.
is such a big priority. So from Dubai now, jump on the flight to Dar. That could have been about...
And Dar is the capital?
Yeah, Dar es Salaam.
of Tan- All right, let me
Right.
tell you what. Gonna go for a break. I know we're going to be landing, listeners, we're landing in Tanzania. Yes, can you imagine? I love to. When would I ever get to go back to Africa? I don't know. Probably never will. All right, you're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM. A revolution in media is traveling the world, and my very special guest is Safia Cooper, co-managing director of Pulse Investments. Vernon Derby saying to you, so come back. Don't move. Welcome back. You're listening, of course, to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media, and the feature is Traveling the World. I'm your friend, Vernon Derby, and of course, my very special guest, lovely person to be talking with, Safia, co-managing director of Pulse Investment. Of course, we have just arrived. Thank you. You are here in Tanzania. Welcome. Good to have you here. And where are you from?
Jamaica, of course.
What the hell was I talking like? I don't know, because I think all Africans talk alike.
No, I mean, landing in Dar after like about 7, 8, could be 9 hours flying time from Dubai. You know, you're exhausted, right?
Really, from Dubai is 9 hours?
Yes, it long to.
But let me tell my listeners, when we have this program here talking about these countries, please, you must go on the internet and search and look at this place. You'll be surprised. Many of you here are saying, boy, there's nothing happening here, no jobs. You never can tell. You look up there, you qualify yourself, you head out to those countries and you get jobs. Because quite a number of Jamaicans are over there in aviation industry, they're teaching.
Yeah.
Or even Africa too, you know.
Of course. I actually met quite a few Jamaicans while I was there.
Yes.
I mean, I was around, my aunt, but there's a little community of Jamaicans who live right there in Dar. And not just like for the last 2 years. I mean, like 20 years, like long time, well established there in Tanzania. But I must say, when I landed in Tanzania now, in Dar, what surprised me, I walked on a tarmac. Now, the last time I walked on a tarmac was back in the day, here in Jamaica time,
Yes.
But the thing is, not on, undervalue the experience. It was refreshing because it was like, you know what? I just touched down.
Yes.
You hit Mother Africa soil running.
It's a good feeling,
It's like you just touch down.
Yeah,
literally.
rather have to go in
Gate and this
gate
and that.
and everything, and you don't say anything until you come out. Yes.
I was in the middle of everything as I
Yes.
got there. Language different, of course, It speaks Swahili.
Yes, Swahili.
Swahili is
But
there.
they speak English also.
Certainly, they speak
Right.
English as well. And let me tell you, again, being a Jamaican helps you. Nobody can trick you. Nobody can trick you, right?
I hear you. Nobody can fool
None of them
you.
can't. Hello, I'm from Jamaica. You can't trick me. So, again, my best friend was with me,
Yes.
and my aunt was already there in Tanzania. She says, Safia, guess what? Remember, you don't need a visa to come into this country as a Jamaican. Then we try to trick you and charge you a bag of US at the airport. Of course, I'm trying to think. I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
So
I am Jamaican.
So what they do with that money? That money goes to the government coffers?
I don't know, and I can't speak to that.
I hear you.
But no, after that little it was funny because I
Yes.
expected it, and we're like ready, prepared
Right.
for them. Cleared immigration and customs, got outside, no time. Again, they have a ban on plastic, which I found very good
That's
too.
good, really?
Yeah, so they even if you came through the airport with a plastic bag in your hand, you had to get rid of it in the airport.
Wow.
Yeah, they're very serious about that. So I was like, look at this, Jamaica. We just got caught onto it recently, or in more recent times. They have had that in place, and it's a big thing, a big initiative there in Dar.
That plastic has really messed up our environment,
Exactly,
Yes.
totally has. So we got picked up by my aunt, head over to the consulate, and as we drove in to the home, I'm not kidding you. It might sound very cliche, but I was greeted by some monkeys. They literally came out and jumped around, and I'm like, look at this. I'm not at the zoo.
Yeah.
I'm not at the national park, and I'm already experiencing something that I would have to see across a fence.
Did any of them fell in love with you and kissed you?
No, nobody kissed me, but they wanted bananas, funnily enough. But I mean, and we were staying
By
on
the
the
way,
beach.
we laugh, but I understand that these monkeys are quite intelligent.
Very.
I hear that they'll wait until persons are not at home, they watch and they go and they're working like gangs and they break into homes and so on. When I hear this, I say, monkeys?
No, it's true. It's a true thing, because when I was there,
Yes.
they're like, little con artists.
So I understand.
Little con art. They love trickery, and if you feed them bananas, they're happy. If they come out one morning, you don't have any bananas, it's like, hey, what's going on? Where my food?
Yes.
But they're pleasant and fun. Nothing to be afraid of at all. And the home was actually on the beach.
Okay.
So I think I was spoiled for 3 weeks. You go to your bed at night, you're not hearing anything that is disturbing. You're hearing the crashing waves.
That's caressingly.
Just, I mean,
Sure, it must be beautiful.
let me tell
Going
you,
to sleep like that?
you're
Wow.
going to sleep like that, and you're waking up to that.
What's the temperature like there in Tanzania?
Cool,
Okay.
very cool. Because I was like, is it gonna be hot? Nope. It's
You
like
know,
Christmas in Jamaica.
It's amazing, that we have quite a number of misconceptions about Africa. Like, we think Africa is one whole country. That's
Exactly.
the first thing. We think that Africa is backward. We don't realize that they have modern industries. Mark you, we do know that Africa has been ripped off by Belgium and United Kingdom and those countries. And Africa is rich in resources, natural resources, gold and all that. But they've really gone on and just simply, I would say, stole all the wealth of that of that continent.
I remember when I was sharing my experience on social media.
Yes.
Persons actually asked me, "Where is this?" They could not believe I was in Africa,
Right.
because what I was showing is not what they have heard or seen in the news or been exposed to their life. So let me talk a little bit about the people. There is absolutely no crime.
You realize I'm dumbstruck. What do you mean no crime?
There is no crime. These people are some of the softest speaking people I've ever experienced and met. They're so calm. They're very respectful. It's a part of their religion.
Oh, so I don't think our ancestors didn't
Jamaica,
come from
let me tell you,
Tanzania.
it's
No,
a
sir.
different place we come from out of Africa. Wherever we come from is not down there. But I can tell you, it's like we go to bed, the door is open, the windows open.
But
Oh my
Jamaica
God.
was like that, years
I know.
ago. Yes.
I know,
yes.
that is true. But the people, man, and it was like a very zen, calming experience that you can't bottle it. If I could bottle it and sell it overseas, I'd be a millionaire right
Yes.
now. But you have to be in the space to experience the spirit, the energy, the vibe. Totally. I mean, my mind was at rest. I was like, what is today's date? What time is it? I lost track of time.
But let me ask you, even in the urban areas in Dar, you tell me that the crime rate is
As I
low?
experience it, low to no. To none, rather.
Were you there long enough to find out, is it just the nature, the culture of the people, or is it because of the way the place is structured, there's justice? Why
I
is
think-
there? Is it that the wealth, for example, there's no wide disparity in terms of the
There
distribution
is.
of wealth? There is.
There is a disparity because, I've seen it at the highest level. I've been to brunch and I can tell you, all the international brands are visible. You
Yes.
have women walking around with the most expensive handbags, shoes, everything. European, because again, they have that influence too. So their labels and fashion is like they have options if they want
Right.
to access those brands. And I've seen where persons are living in conditions where they don't have running water, they don't have power going to their homes. The roadways are non-existent. So I've seen both extremes. And
So you were able to go into the rural parts?
yes, I was able
Yes.
to, because that was the thing about Tanzania too. It was not the average touristic experience. I was literally immersed in the everyday life of the everyday man in Tanzania, as well as obviously the more affluent citizens there. But people check. I'd go back any day. The other thing now, the food. I'm a big foodie, right?
So you
And I'm
eat
like-
any and everything.
I mean, I eat.
What did you eat anything unusual, Safia?
I wouldn't say unusual because
Yeah.
my aunt there, she has about 3 restaurants.
Yes.
And one is a Jamaican restaurant on the beach. And what I found interesting was that they fused the Jamaican traditional dishes with the Tanzanian flavor,
Okay.
right? And so I'm eating curry goat and white rice same way like I'm in Jamaica.
I hear
Oxtail
you.
and rice and peas,
What a thing.
curry chicken. So I'm in heaven, right? But when I actually try the traditional Muslim dishes now, they were good because I love the roti, I love the naan, the curry infused dishes, coconut milk.
Yeah, man, coconut milk. Oh, I love that.
Lord Jesus, let me tell you, man, I was in heaven. And from Dar, I actually went to Zanzibar via ferry. About an hour and a half it took us to get to Zanzibar. Zanzibar is like a Negril.
Because I tend to hear more about Zanzibar than even Dar itself.
Exactly. Zanzibar is where all the tourists want to go.
Okay, that is why.
And that's like the water, the beaches. You remember Negril, 7 mile stretch.
When it was Negril.
when it was original.
When it was a virgin.
Virgin.
Untouched.
Untouched
Until
beach.
human beings went down there and destroyed that beautiful place.
What can I say?
I'm not impressed. I'm very upset. Anyway, moving right along.
Most beautiful beaches. And I went to a restaurant. If you know the Pelican Bar here in Treasure Beach,
Right.
there is a restaurant called The Rock in Zanzibar in the middle of the ocean too.
We have that here too, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like Pelican Bar.
Oh, like
here.
Pelican. Oh, yes,
Right.
Pelican, right.
So I'm like, oh my God, what is this? What are the odds of this? Because I didn't, I wasn't as familiar with Zanzibar before going. The most amazing food, well developed. I mean, tourists. It was awesome. Middle of the Indian Ocean, having the best food, the views. Trust me.
But do they eat monkeys there? Because I hear that monkeys are very tasty, you know.
I don't know. I didn't experience
Experience
monkeys. I didn't have it as a culinary
Yes.
choice. No, I
Do
didn't.
they eat anything which you found unusual in Tanzania?
No,
No?
because it's fresh. A lot of fresh seafood, though. If you love seafood, you'd love the food there. I was there at the end of Eid, and it's like 4 to 5 days of celebration where the entire community comes out, families, food, massive street food festival. So you get to see everything and taste everything. But I'm a little bit peculiar with that street food, especially.
Yeah, me too.
So I was very impressed by it, and I tried it carefully as it relates to that.
Yeah, when it comes to food, I busted. I can't forget to see a lady downtown. She was looking after her baby right at the stall there for her. And, she just take out the baby and clean him up and everything. And when she don't clean him up, just cut her butter and cheese.
Jesus,
No, but I hear the thing. By the way, were you able to go to any of the marketplaces? I understand the marketplaces
Oh my God,
are very
how could I
similar.
not tell you about that?
Yes.
So, if you're into craft
Mm-hmm.
and authentic, traditional jewelry, clothing, fabric, that's where you have to be.
All right, guess what? We're going to go for the final break. Hey, tell us about all that craft, because years ago, craft was big business in Jamaica. We'd use our creativity, the wires that they used to do to blast rocks, and so we used that. We used to use the banana, they call it bark, coconut, and make all sorts of things very creatively, but somehow we seem to have lost it. When we come back, we hear what's happening there in Tanzania with craft. You're listening to At Your Service here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media, the People's Program, the People's University. Our very special guest is Safia Kopo, co-managing director of Pulse Investments. Your friend Vernon Derby saying to you, soon come back, don't move. Welcome back, yes, to the final segment of Traveling the World. I'm your friend Vernon Derby, and hope you're finding the discussion quite interesting. And of course, feel free to text me and let me know what you think. You can send me a text message to 876-816-5261. Right? We're talking with Safia Kopo, and she was just about to tell us about craft, and that is something that we have lost in this country. I mean, we do a little thing on the North Coast, but there was a time when craft was part of Jamaica. It was just in our blood. If you're going to make a house, we look at the lattice work and the creativity. You're going to make a chair, it was carved. Ladies used to make things out of coconut things, or we used to make things out of shells and so on. But now we just simply buy things from up north.
Wow, I know, but it's not, I don't think it's all lost, being in Tanzania and going into the craft markets, which is massive. The Maasai people, so they're influenced by the Maasai. So the Maasai people, traditional people, they have always made, whether it be shoes, bags, belts, from beads, beadwork, handmade beadwork. Now I can tell you, if you were to pay for that in the States or in Europe,
Yes.
you couldn't afford it. Or if you could, it would be very expensive.
Oh, okay.
So my thing was, no man, it's just too amazing just to walk past it. So I had them even make me.
Where are the beads from? They're from seeds or what?
The beads, I think they could be semi-precious. I'm not sure exactly, but
okay.
they have always interacted and interfaced with these beads, and as I said, from necklaces, bracelets. I mean, I'm even wearing a bracelet now that I got
100%.
there. It's a Tanzania flag. I take it everywhere with
Yes,
me.
I've seen.
You know?
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
And they actually made me a necklace with a memento from my mom. So
Really?
and I stood there watching them make it. And it was like amazing, because you're saying this thing must take them hours because of how intricate the beadwork is. But it's just not. It's just like second nature for them. So you're into these markets. It's fabric, lots of fabric, authentic African fabric available for sale, and not overpriced either.
Right.
So I indulge in fabric, sandals, bracelets, necklaces, stuff for your home. It's a massive part of their
But when they
offering.
dress Africans, whether it's Nigeria, Tanzania, when they dress, you have to turn and look
You
at
have to
them.
look at them.
Just amazing.
You have to look at them. And the funny thing is, they were not dressed always in authentic wear.
Yes.
They do have and wear authentic dress, but some were dressed regularly,
Right.
European style. But humble people, and they're not showy,
I'm just thinking about craft, and I am one of those who believe that the things you do, it helps to fashion the culture of the country. Like when I was young, ladies, for example, sit down for hours and do the crochet work and so on. Therefore, nobody had time to go and chat and idle and make trouble. But nowadays, all a guy can do is dig out his hand middle. And find, as a young person coming up, there's so many things to do. Some might read a book, some might make a cart or make a gig or something like that. But I find our people no longer, we sing, I must admit, we are creative in terms of the creative arts and so on, but in terms of making things that takes time, nobody has the that's where the patience.
Yeah.
But you have to just watch how we drive on our roads. So
Yeah.
I would love that. I think I'm learning something. These things that the people do helps to condition their minds to be calm.
I tell you, the people, and they were so respectful. And when they found out that we were Jamaicans, because they thought we were Americans at first, and them said I had on a Bob Marley shirt one day in the market.
Oh Lord, a passport that.
And let me tell you, it was my passport for true. They're like, oh my God, Jamaica. It was the same reaction that I got when I was in Brazil, right? And everybody wanted to talk to us and know about Bob Marley and Usain Bolt, and of course the herb of all herbs. They want to discuss that too, because they do smoke there, But trust me, man, the market experience, and driving in Tanzania, the radio is on. You hear dancehall.
What a thing.
I heard from Sean Paul to Busy Signal. I was at a little event during Eid, and they had like sound boxes and stage and everything, and they had a competition, and they were dancing to, I tell you, Busy Signal and Sean Paul. It was amazing. Jamaica and its influence is so far-reaching as it relates to their products and their produce. They're one of the top cashew producers in the world. So cashew nut is readily available, and it's really, really good. So, it's just so much to be around, so much to take in. But my 3 weeks there, a mind-blowing experience. And I tell you, if it wasn't COVID, I could probably be in Tanzania right now.
No, the thing I love about, we only have probably a minute left. The thing I love about Africa is the drums and dancing. I even know they are getting far creative. Mark, I'm very concerned, the same way we have a lot of influences from up north. Somehow they are still able to maintain their culture still, and I think they are doing a good job of it. The drums and the movements, it's just amazing. And when you go there, you feel like you want to be a part of it too. Did you see that in terms of?
Definitely.
Yes.
Because I saw live bands, and it was, same kind of thing. Great singers, drumming expertise, rhythm, the waistline movement. It was just as you would have imagined as it relates to that aspect of things. Rich.
Africa, we get that from too.
Definitely, man.
Listen, it was great talking with you. But with all of this COVID, what is Paul's doing now? What's coming up next? Fashion show is going to be.
I tell you, we have always been a very diverse company, and as such, our business will go on through, our media expanse with our TV shows across the region. Those things have not stopped. We have our shop rentals at Trafalgar Road and at Villa Night. Those things will continue. And as we develop, and go into post-COVID, whatever that looks like, our business is well.
Next year, next 200 years? We don't-
We're not sure how
Not
long it will
sure.
be, but we have always been a lean mean machine
Right.
and ready, and have the foresight to be prepared as best as we can for any
I'm sure
circumstance.
your aunt will not be pleased that you know a chat no part up on the program.
Lord have mercy.
Caroline. Oh boy.
Boy, you set me up bad this morning.
This morning. And I must tell you, if Donette is listening, I hope she is, that she has helped me to travel to as far as Paris. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
yes, you know.
yeah, that's another
Yes,
side. That
yeah, she
Paris
has-
was interested as
It's
well.
through her links as well. I was able to
got
go
to
as far
Paris.
as. But Donette, how you do? Safia Cooper. I'm just disappointed that you have got into the movies too, because I know you have the ability and the talent. But probably business makes more money.
Well, it's sustainable.
It's sustainable. All right. Thank you very much, Safia Cooper, co-managing director of Pulse Investment. You have a wonderful day. It's great having you.
Thanks for having
And
me.
of course, we have some persons who are celebrating their birthday today. We have Michael Penix at the State Department here in the United States, Paul Ashley, Karen Watson, Anita Morgan, Kareem Constantine there in Toronto. Oh, my adopted son there in Mandeville, Dr. Leland Johnson. Good morning, Doctor. I'll call you later on. Thank you very much, Damien Cunningham, technical operator. Rashana Fitz-Henley, producer. And Jermaine King was here early on, technical operator and also supervisor. To all my listeners out there, I want to thank you very much for staying with me. Hope you enjoyed the program today. And I love to hear from you. So you continue to send me your text messages and keep in touch. Remember this, while it is good to teach others, the best way to teach others is to live by example. Make sure that you set the right examples for those to follow, especially if you're leading this nation or if you're leading an organization. You can't teach others and then your life is saying something else. Vernon Derby is saying to you, have a little love in the heart. Remember, you leave your house, if you put on the makeup or you don't put on the smile, you're still not going to look good here. So, walk good, my friend.